Hi everyone, this is Bug-Ass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marvel Legends Rhino Build-A-Figure. So, before I start this review, of course, since he doesn't have any accessories, since he's a Build-A-Figure, I do not have the alternate head to this. I recently got this at my toy store, and that's the only thing it was missing, but I still really wanted to review this because I've wanted this figure forever, and I must say, it does not disappoint. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt here. So for the head sculpt, he has a very, very insane head sculpt. But I really like it. That's kind of the way Rhino looks in the comics. He's meant to be that kind of crazy guy in a Rhino suit. So I think that head sculpt looks really nice. His pupils aren't the same size. Like his left eye, his pupils pointing towards the left, and his right eye's I suppose the right eye, the pupil's kind of centered there. But this left one's off just a little bit. But I like that, like I said, crazy expression on his face. That looks really awesome. And his tongue and all of his teeth are sculpted nicely. And his teeth are a little yellow. They're not quite clean, which looks really awesome. I thought maybe it was just my camera at first. I didn't really pay that much attention to his teeth. And these horns look nice on his head. They actually have a texture to them. It has kind of a wooden texture to it. I don't really know any other way to describe it, but it has a really nice texture to it. And I like the color of it, too. And this whole figure has a lot of great sculpting detail. All of his suit really feels like leathery, like really dry skin, kind of. Like how I'd imagine a rhinoceros to actually feel. You've got all those warts and stuff sculpted in here. Looks really awesome. I do like the paint shading, too. You can see that there's just this, well, actually, there's a little bit of a dry brushing of brown over the whole thing. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but, yeah, from back here, it's got that dry brushing of brown over to make it look like he's dirty, which looks really awesome. And then, in between all of his muscles, you get that dark gray shading, which looks really nice. And he has these shoulder pads right here, which looks awesome. And you can remove these, like so. I don't like leaving them off because, of course, then there's these holes right here. And, that's the problem I had with, well, that's, of course, why I didn't get it. The, SDCC, was it this year? Yeah, this year. The, San Diego Comic-Con Battle for Asgard set. Ulick reuses this body mold. And Hasbro didn't even bother covering up these holes in his arms because he's just a remold of Rhino. Because this is the figure that started all of the retoolings and stuff. So I do like to leave these on. They do have left and right on them so that you can remember how to put them on, which is really helpful. Because, well, they kind of look the same. But honestly, if you look, there is a little bit of difference. Let me get this back on here. You can see that his right shoulder pad doesn't really have any room and pivots just a little bit. And the left one has a lot of room and pivots. It actually pivots kind of freely. So I think that's kind of odd that the left shoulder pad is bigger than the right one. Which it looks the same if you look at it this way. But you can tell this one, the left one, is out just a little bit. So he's got more of that, he's actually got more of the dry brushing of the brown on his lower half than he does on his upper half. Like, on his fist right here, he has that dry brushing brown. It's very faint, but I really appreciate that detail. That looks really awesome. Here's his back. And it doesn't have as much texture as the front, like that dry, kind of dry skin feel. That you can see right there. He doesn't have as much of that on his back, but still, it's pretty awesome. Okay, let me just straighten him out here. And his feet look really awesome. There's the toenails on the suit. And that actually is sculpted really nicely. They look very dirty and nasty. And I just really like that detail. So this figure is really detailed. So now let's go over the articulation. He's got a ball-jointed head that can move back just a little bit. It can move down all the way. And it can move side to side just a little bit. I assume the other head would probably be the same way since it's the same thing, just the face looks a little bit different. He's got ball jointed shoulders that can move out this far with the shoulder pads on. And with the shoulder pads off, he can move his shoulders all the way out. He's got a swivel at the bicep, single jointed elbow, a swivel at the wrist that can move up and down, and side to side. Now, when I got this figure at my local toy store, the joints were actually still stiff on it. So this thing, it's like no one even used it, and I've been taking photos of it and stuff non-stop. So I did also want to show that the bicep swivel can only swivel that much with the shoulder pads on. So if you want to get more articulation, you can take the shoulder pads off. It's just I don't like it because of those unsightly holes there's when you take the shoulder pads off. It's got an ab crunch that can move back just a little bit. It can crunch forward just a little bit. And you can see that he's a little loose there. But I did get White Tiger that came with the torso of this. And that torso is the same way. So I think that's just something you get with all of the Build-A-Figures. He's got a swivel at the waist. He's got ball jointed hips that can actually move out pretty far for being a Build-A-Figure. He can kick forward all the way and back just a little bit. He's got a swivel at the thigh. Single jointed knee. Now, like I said, this joint is still pretty stiff, like it wasn't even used. It can move like that. It's easier to move it back into place than it is to get his knee bent. But you can do it, and I don't feel like I'll break it while I'm moving it either. It's just a stiff joint. It's very rubbery, too, so that helps. And he's got a swivel at the ankle that can move up and down, and he has an ankle rocker. So I think the articulation is pretty good on this figure. I kind of knew what to expect already because I had the Abomination Build-A-Figure, which is just a resculpt of this figure. So now let's move on to some comparisons. I did have the Toy Biz version of both Toy Biz and Hasbro versions of this figure, but I couldn't find them for anything before this review. So I do have those, and I'm pretty sure that they're probably about the same size. I know the Sinister 6 box set one is taller than this one, than the new Build-A-Figure. So here he is next to my all-new, all-different Spider-Man. You can see that Rhino is huge compared to Spider-Man, which I think is really awesome. Although, I suppose, if it's just a guy in a suit, that's kind of weird, because this would make him, like, I don't know, like 8 feet tall. You know, things work that way in comics. And then here is the Abomination Build-A-Figure. And you can tell from the torso and everything that these are the same. And the arms are retooled, but, or the shoulders are retooled. And from here down, it's the same with new hands. So the arms from the bicep to the wrist is the same, and the torso is the same. And it does have some new added sculpting on the back. But the legs is where you can really tell where these two are the same, minus the feet. They both have those short, stubby legs, which I don't really think is right for Abomination, because Abomination should be way taller and way bigger than Rhino. So I think that this Rhino, or Abomination, shouldn't have used the Rhino mold. I think it should have been an all-new thing. So, that's my review. I think this Build-A-Figure is really awesome. I don't know if it's worth some of the hefty price tag, because I did get this for a really good price. So, I'm not sure it'd be worth the hefty price tag, but I do think it's a really awesome Build-A-Figure. Before I go, I also wanted to say that in my video I did for the Infinity War wave reveal, I got that wrong. My sources told me it was Wave 2, and it was actually Wave 1. So, I did want to mention that. So, that's actually Wave 1, not Wave 2. I will put that in the description once I get into editing so that I can let everyone know that I was wrong about that. So, that's my review. And if you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.